Okay, so for this question, I won't lie to you, this question's a little tricky because if you make a mistake, it messes up your whole answer. So I need to fill in this box here. That's what they're looking for. Now, how do I do that? Well, they don't have any missing things over here on the left. I can be able to calculate an answer. Then they've got me doing this calculation over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find this answer, and then subtract them, and that should be the missing box. All right, so let's start on the left to see what we need. So 26 times 10 divided by 5 times 2 squared. So I don't see any addition, subtraction in this at all. I see some parentheses, I see some exponents, and I see a bunch of multiplication, division. So I am going to go in and do the parentheses first. I'm going to get that to be a single number, make my work a lot easier. So I see a bunch of multiplication, division, so I'm going to do that as I come to it, left to right, not multiply first, then the divide. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So I got 26 times 4 squared. Okay, so 26, so 4 squared I know is 16. Now what's 26 times 16? I could do this by hand. I could multiply it out, but you know what? I've got a calculator right here. This is what they make calculators for. I mean, 2-digit multiplication was something your elementary teachers wanted you to know because that's how you build fluency. I'm going to ask you to do a hard enough stuff. I'm not going to make you do that. So 416 is what that becomes. So 416. So that whole left-hand side, I believe. Nope, I didn't. That's just the very first digit. That's just the very first, isn't it? Now I got to do the second part. So the second part is -9 times 4 times 3. The 3 is squared, isn't it? So I got to go inside the parentheses. I've got to do exponents first. So 4 times 9. Let's see. I could probably use a calculator, but I'm going to try to be a little smarter than that, just so I don't have to type it in. I know 9, because remember the commutative property of multiplication? If I'm multiplying, I can multiply in any order I want. So I can go 9 times 9 and get 81. And then for 81, that's just 4 times 81. Well, I don't honestly know what 4 times 81, but I know that I can write 81 as 80 plus 1, and then I can use the distributive property. That's 320, because I know 4 times 8 is 32, plus 4, so that's 324. And it's negative because the 9's negative. So negative 324. And if that was too much for you and I blew you out of the water, grab a calculator. But try to start thinking about things that way. That's part of building number fluency. So now I've got to subtract those two, right? Boy, all this work for just the left-hand side. Whew. Now, yes, I could grab a calculator, but isn't that 9? So that's 92. So that's the number I wanted. 92 is what's on the left. Here, let me get fancy. Write that as a red 92 so I don't lose that. Let me remove some of this stuff. Let's see. I hope you're finding these my open math questions better than a worksheet. I mean, really, it's just like a worksheet, but at least you get multiple chances. I don't know. I like using the online math. So on this left-hand side, now I'm going to simplify this. I guess, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just deal with the parentheses first. I don't have to, but I'm going to. I mean, I could take care of this 84 divided by 7. That's not going to mess anything up. But I'll go in and use the parentheses. So I'm seeing 4 squared is an exponent. So that's 2 squared is an exponent. That's 4 times 9 divided by 2. Now remember, I mean, I could go 4 times 9 is 36, divided by 2 is 18. I could also remember, see, this is supposed to be divided by 2, not times 2. I could think of it this way. Remember how we could think of division as a fraction? 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 times 9 is 18. Or we could even think about it as here's this whole mess is being multiplied by that 2 here. And that 2 cancels out. So 4 times 9 is 36. That sounds like the plan to me. How you get there, it's okay, guys. If you don't quite understand this piece here, see me, get some help. So now I'm going to go back to my first part of this expression, do the x. I don't see any parentheses, but I am going to I see some exponents. So 3 times 3 is 9. Then I'm going to go back and do multiplication, division, left or right. I know that 84 divided by 7 is 12. That's just because I've done this a lot. It's just a multiplication fact. 9 times 12, I believe, is 108. And there's a minus sign, a negative sign here. So I got to remember to subtract those. So what's 36, 108 minus 36? So that's a 2, and 10 minus 3 is 7. So 72. So these numbers here, these numbers on the left all boil down to 72. These numbers on the right all boil down to 92. So what do I have to add to 72 to get to 92? Because that's what it's saying. Well, I think that's 20. All right, here, let me go back so I get the brush. I think 20 is going to be my answer. Now, I have gotten this problem wrong. I've done this a couple of times with some other classes. Let's see, 20. Let's see how I do. I liked it. All right, so I hope that wasn't too confusing. This is the challenging question, so keep trying on. If you can get it, pat yourself in your back.